have one more week of school left, and here is our final activity together. What I want you to do is choose one of your favorite artworks that you're really proud of and that you enjoyed making. It can be from this time that you've been at home, or it can be earlier in the school year. I know you've made a lot of artwork that I haven't had the chance to pass back to you. You will get all of that artwork back in the fall when we're back in school. But choose an artwork, and then we are going to use the elements of art to guide our conversation. So I'm going to share a presentation with you now and kind of help you to use some words to talk about your art. This presentation is also really awesome for your parents to look at because it helps you and it can help your parents to talk about your artwork together. Enjoy. Okay, so again, first of all, you're going to think of all the artwork you made during the school year. Take a moment to brainstorm and gather your artwork. Next, choose one piece of art you took your time on that was challenging, and when you look at it now, you feel proud. All art is made of the elements of art. The elements of art go together similar to how ingredients are put together to make your favorite yummy food. In the artwork you chose, talk about how the artist, that's you, used the element of color. What kinds of colors did you use? Are they warm or cold, primary or secondary? How many can you name? Which colors would mix together to make other colors? Do some colors give you different feelings than others? How so? Next, you can talk about line. What kinds of lines did you use? Can you name them? How did you move your hand to make these lines? Do some lines make you have different feelings than others? How so? You can talk about shape. What kinds of shapes did you use? Can you name them? How did you move your hand to make these lines? Do some shapes make you have different feelings than others? How so? Next, we can talk about space. Identify an area of positive space, a place where you drew something. Identify an area of negative space, a place in between the things you drew or painted. Try to describe the shape of your negative spaces. So for example, these colorful circles with this little triangle cut out, these could be considered the positive space. And then the space here in the middle is the negative space. But if you really focus on it, it kind of creates this big triangle. You can also talk about texture. What different kinds of textures did you show? Smooth, bumpy, hairy. What did you make the texture? What did you do to make the textures you made? Which textures are easier to make? Which textures are more challenging? And remember, texture is the way something looks or feels. Did you use form in your artwork? Form is using value, shape, texture, and space to make flat artwork look three-dimensional, not flat. Did you try to show form in your artwork? It's okay if you have not tried it yet. Try it when you feel inspired. So now I'm going to share an artwork with you that I'm really proud of, that I worked on and finished in March. And it is a portrait of my daughter, Matilda. And I'm going to use some elements of art to talk about it. So, color. I use lots of color, as you can see. And actually, this background is one of the placemats that we use at Bryant that you all always put underneath your artwork. And I was really inspired by the way that they looked after using them for several years, so I just decided to paint the portrait right on top. So I used lots of different colors, mostly flesh tones, and then, the red and the blue in Matilda's shirt. So it's a pretty colorful artwork. Let's see. You can say that I used shape. I used organic shapes, which are shapes in nature, to kind of create areas of the portrait. You can say I used some lemon shapes to make the eyes. The pupils and irises are round. These are kind of curved shapes. The background looks like it has a lot of texture, and it's actually a little bumpy from all of the paint, and the oil paint is bumpy too, but it probably has more of an implied texture in the background. The space is pretty shallow in here. I created some shading at the bottom to make it look like she was leaning on a surface. Let's see, form. She is a human form, so I made, even though this is a flat piece of paper, I'm giving the appearance of a three-dimensional person in this artwork. Line, I used lots of different lines when I was drawing the portrait on here before painting it. Let's see, did I cover everything? And you don't have to talk about all of the elements of art when you talk about your artwork. Maybe you just focus on some. This artwork makes me feel, well, not only proud, but it also makes me feel really happy when I look at it, because it reminds me of this certain time in Matilda's life that I took a picture of her and painted, so I will always remember that feeling I had when I took her picture, and I'll always have this artwork to remind me of her and what she looked like when she was just 2 years old. So it makes me feel really happy. So that's a little bit about my artwork, and I hope that you show me one of your artworks too. Again, thank you for sharing with me, and I wish you a really, really wonderful summer. It's been really fun being at Bryant with you and also teaching you art from home and seeing all of your responses. I will miss you. Have a great summer, and I'll see you in the fall. Bye.